Yes, you read that right. Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom who's been lighting up the WNBA, was shockingly overlooked by two of the league's most prominent analysts, McNutt and Carolyn Peck. Instead of giving Clark the credit she deserved, McNutt and Peck backed Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year, brushing aside Clark's undeniable impact on the Indiana Fever. But now, they've been forced to admit how wrong they were. Fans aren't letting them off the hook either. One fan even joked, Peck and McNutt hating life as they have to finally come around and acknowledge reality. And trust me, you'll want to stick around because later in the video, we'll share even more hilarious fan reactions as they troll the analysts. But what do you think? Did McNutt and Peck take too long to recognize Clark's dominance, or were they justified in their early picks? Let me know in the comments below. Back in July, McNutt confidently picked Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year, citing Reese's strong double-double stats and Chicago's better record at the time. You have to give the nod to Angel Reese, McNutt stated, overlooking the steady rise of Clark and the Indiana Fever.
I have said this all season, BC. My Rookie of the Year is going to go based on the standings.
Okay.
Because I think that is how you have the opportunity to measure impact.
And the sky's right above them.
And the Sky right now are in the playoffs, so you'd have to give the nod in my mind to Angel Reese. Look, the double-double streak that she's rocking and rolling, chasing down 12 double-doubles to start is the record that spanned over 2 seasons. She's already gotten to 11. I think when you sit back and you look at what's around her, head coach Teresa Weatherspoon in her first year, there's not another #1 draft pick on that roster currently. There's not another all-star on that roster.
Peck agreed, lauding Reese for her grown woman numbers, while questioning whether Clark had reached that level yet.
If you had to log your vote today, who would your Rookie of the Year be in the WNBA?
I mean, it is a thin line. It's really tight. But when you look at where the teams are, and I also went a little deeper and I looked at plus minus, and I also look at net rating. And when you look at that, Angel Reese has to get the nod. Angel Reese has to do the dirty work. I have said it's not sexy to have to battle and rebound inside and where you've got to do the blue-collar work. But this is a player that has come in as a rookie and is putting up grown woman numbers. 12 double-doubles in a row. I mean, in one season. So when you see a young woman come in like that and do that, I would have to give the nod with her efficiency rating and also the plus minus.
But as the season progressed, Clark turned the tables, and McNutt and Peck could no longer ignore her. The shift in the conversation came quickly. After Clark began leading the Fever to victory after victory, the ESPN duo couldn't deny her any longer. During a September broadcast, McNutt admitted, "They're playing with joy," acknowledging how the Indiana Fever had become a real threat thanks to Clark's leadership and her on-court brilliance. Peck, too, reversed her earlier stance, declaring that Indiana is a problem, especially with Clark's impeccable court vision and ability to raise the game of her teammates.
And she's a problem.
All right, so look at that next group, 5 through 7, that we know are in, and it's the Storm, Indiana, and the Phoenix Mercury. Carolyn, I come to you. Out of that group, who is the most dangerous team that you think no one in that top half wants to see right now?
In the bottom half, I think that Indiana is a problem.
Yeah.
And the way that they are playing as of late, when you look at the numbers of what Caitlin Clark has done, her improvement and how she has adjusted to the speed of the game, and her players have gotten used to playing with her. She knows how to lay it out on a dime. Her court vision is impeccable, and now her teammates are ready to catch the ball. They trust she's going to get it where it needs to be.
In that same segment, Peck raved about a behind-the-back pass Clark executed against the Los Angeles Sparks on September 4th, saying, "I love it."
But y'all, the favorite part of my game from Caitlin Clark is this behind-the-back pass. Come on now. I love it. I love it. And that wasn't just one time. She does that on a frequent and drops it right there. Perfect to Aaliyah Ball.
This dramatic change in tone didn't go unnoticed by fans or critics. Shannon Sharpe, an NFL legend and sports commentator, called them out for their silence earlier in the season. "Y'all had a lot to say early," Sharpe remarked, challenging McNutt and Peck to maintain their same energy now that Clark had become the frontrunner in the Rookie of the Year race. Sharpe was particularly vocal, stating, "There's a lot of women that was on ESPN that had a lot to say earlier about it. They've gone quiet now. Y'all quiet now."
There's a lot of women that was on ESPN that had a lot to say earlier about this. They gone quiet now.
You say they quiet?
Y'all quiet now. Now, I want somebody to send that to you because you know who I'm talking about. I ain't going to call your name, but you know who you are. Y'all had a lot to say early. Y'all had a lot to say early. And if you think I'm talking to you, I am. Make no mistake about it. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. One of you was a former coach. I get a little bit more specific. Some of you played the game. Now, I want y'all to have that same thing when y'all were talking. Don't get mad now.
He wasn't the only one paying attention. Fans across social media flooded the analysts with reactions, accusing them of underestimating Clark's meteoric rise. And rise she did. In August, Clark put on a masterclass performance against the Chicago Sky, scoring 31 points in a dominant 101-81 victory. Shaquille O'Neal, who had been a supporter of Angel Reese early on, admitted after that game that his stance had shifted. "She does everything right," Shaq said, acknowledging Clark's brilliant playmaking and leadership on the court. What was once a race between Clark and Reese for Rookie of the Year has now become something much bigger. Analysts are throwing Clark's name into the MVP conversation, a rare feat for a rookie in any league, let alone the WNBA. As Carolyn Peck put it during a later segment, Clark has elevated her game to such a high level that the entire league should be watching out. McNutt also added that Clark and Aaliyah Boston form one of the league's most effective duos. Those two have been the second best scoring duo in the league behind Aja Wilson and Jackie Young. "It has been so incredibly efficient," she said. Fans couldn't help but troll the ESPN analysts for their sudden change of heart. One fan tweeted, "Peck and McNutt hating life as they have to finally come around and acknowledge reality," while another humorously added, "They probably did a shot of vodka before that segment." The shift from earlier dismissals to reluctant admiration wasn't lost on the viewers. "Monica has been a hater all season," one fan remarked, recalling the early skepticism surrounding Clark's ability to compete at the highest level. With the Fever making their first playoff appearance since 2016, Clark's impact on the team and the league is undeniable. The numbers speak for themselves. Clark leads the WNBA in assists, averaging 23.4 points per game since the All-Star break, and has been instrumental in turning Indiana from a struggling franchise into a legitimate playoff contender. Even the Fever's record reflects Clark's influence. They've won 8 of their last 10 games, pushing their way to a solid 6th seed with a 19-17 record. It's no wonder analysts and fans alike have shifted their focus to Clark. Her late-season dominance has redefined what it means to be a rookie in the WNBA. As we move closer to the playoffs, one thing is clear: Caitlin Clark is just getting started. The ESPN analysts who once dismissed her are now her biggest cheerleaders. But the world has been watching all along. Clark's journey from underappreciated rookie to MVP candidate is a story that will be talked about for years to come, and we're all here to witness it. And if you want to keep up with all the latest on Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update.